Imagine waking up every day and telling yourself, I am not enough. That single thought might seem harmless, but it can quietly shape how you study, how you interact with others, and how you see your own worth. Research published in Psychological Science by Orth, Errol, and Luciano shows that people with higher self-esteem tend to have stronger relationships, greater academic success, and a better psychological well-being. Self-esteem isn't just about confidence. It's about how we define our value and how we respond when life doesn't go as planned. For college students, it can be the difference between giving up and growing. As Brazosport college students, we face constant challenges: academic pressure, social comparison, and the struggle to balance work, life, and family. According to a study by Arshad, Zaidi, and Mahmood, low self-esteem is linked to higher anxiety, disengagement, and reduced motivation among university students. This means that how the way we feel about ourselves directly affects how we perform and persevere. I chose this topic because, like many of you, I've struggled with imposter syndrome and the habit of comparing myself to others. Through research, counseling, and personal experience, I've learned that my self-esteem can truly be improved, and I want to share what actually works based on evidence and not my opinion. So today I'm going to share 3 proven strategies for improving self-esteem: cognitive techniques that reframe negative thoughts, behavioral practices that build confidence through action, and social support systems that help us sustain a positive self-image. Let's begin by looking at how the way we think shapes the way we feel. So, self-esteem starts in the mind. Negative thought patterns like I'm a failure or I'm not smart enough can become automatic and eventually self-fulfilling. Cognitive reframing helps us identify and challenge these thoughts. Orth, Errol, and Luciano found that people with higher self-esteem interpret challenges more constructively, leading to healthier emotional outcomes. Imagine getting a bad grade and thinking, I'm so dumb. If you reframe it to, I didn't do well this time, but I can improve by studying differently, that one shift will turn failure into feedback. It reminds us that setbacks don't define our worth, they refine our growth. So now that we've seen how changing our mindset helps, let's explore how our actions can reinforce a stronger sense of self-worth. Our actions influence our self-image. Arshad, Zaidi, and Mahmood found that students with higher self-esteem engage more actively in their studies, showing that behavior and belief can feed each other. One effective behavioral strategy is self-affirmation, writing short reflections on your strengths or personal values. Doing this regularly can reduce self-doubt and improve confidence, especially in your academic settings. So try spending 5 minutes each morning writing something like, I'm persistent and I'm capable of learning new things. Another example is physical activity. Nathaniel Brandon emphasized that exercise improves both mood and self-esteem. When you notice progress, like lifting a little more, running a little farther, you don't just strengthen your body, but you strengthen your self-image too. So while mindset and behavior matter, there's one final piece of the puzzle: our connections to others. Self-esteem doesn't exist in isolation. It's shaped by our environment and our relationships. In a 2020 meta-analysis, Wagner, Lucht, and Orth found that supportive relationships and positive life events significantly boost long-term self-esteem. Social support reminds us of our worth, while toxic or overly critical environments can quietly erode it. Think about a time where a friend or a teacher encouraged you when you doubted yourself. That one comment might have changed how you saw your abilities. The American Psychological Association defines self-esteem as the degree to which qualities and characteristics in one's self-concept are perceived to be positive. When we surround ourselves with people who notice our effort and celebrate our growth, we start believing in that version of ourselves too. So now that we've explored how thoughts, behaviors, and relationships shape self-esteem, let's bring everything together. Improving your self-esteem begins with 3 evidence-based steps. Reframe negative thoughts through cognitive techniques, build confidence through positive daily actions, and strengthen supportive relationships that affirm our worth. So do you remember that student who woke up thinking they weren't enough? With these strategies, that same student can look in the mirror and say, I am capable, I am learning, and I am enough. Thank you all for listening. I hope today's talk reminds you that confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build, one thought, one action, and one connection at a time.